My son Matthew, when he was 9 years old, I reminded him what it is about all the 8 pieces of the pie that we're focusing on this channel. And he said, well, what do you think is the most important piece? And I immediately responded, because there was no doubt in my mind. It was, hello, everyone. Welcome to Christine Zabora. I'm here about 90 minutes north of Cannes in the mountains of France. And I wanted to talk to you today about the importance of silencing your mind. I just finished yoga, went camping last night. It was really magical. And one thing that really struck me and my friends was the silence here. You know, the fact that you are sitting in silence. And I want to ask you, how often do you sit in silence? Because over 15 years ago, when I did my first brain scan after my suicide attempt, you could see in the differences between a normal SPECT imaging brain scan and my brain scan was that I had a lot of activity going on. And that just meant that I wasn't quieting my brain. I wasn't giving it the rest it needed. I wasn't feeding it the right way. I wasn't meditating enough. I wasn't living the lifestyle that was conducive for a healthy brain. And so I want all of us to be cognitive of this, especially when we're scrolling on social media or when we're watching television today. We're filling ourselves with so much fast-paced content. I mean, usually it's like swipe, 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 flash, 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 swipe, swipe, swipe. And, we go to bed, sometimes you're on your iPhone before bed. I don't know how many of us like to read before bed. Reading is a nice way of focusing and calming the mind before sleep. But what I did after my brain scan, it was so incredible because I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought that I needed an exorcism of my brain. I even Googled that. And, when I got the brain scan, it was like, bing, it was like having a map of my brain and I could see what was going on. And I'm not saying you guys have to do a brain scan because I did the brain scan for you. And if you're suffering from ruminating thoughts or negative thoughts that you can't seem to get control of and replace with good thoughts, if you're feeling burnt out or having PTSD or depression or trauma, let's the first and foremost step, let's take control of our brain, okay? That's the first and foremost piece of the pie that we can really get an amazing grip on our life. My son Matthew, when he was 9 years old, he asked me, actually, I think he was 8. And he asked me like, Mommy, when are you going to start writing your book? And it was like a bitch slap on my face. I was like, oh my God, he's calling me out. And I said, yeah, no, I got the intro going. I got the intro. And he goes, well, what's your book about, Mommy? And I said, I have a couple of books, but one of them is The Life's Pie. And I explained, he goes, well, can you remind me what that is? And so I reminded him what it is about all the 8 pieces of the pie that we're focusing on this channel. And he said, well, what do you think is the most important piece? And I was like, wow, that's like such a cool question from an 8-year-old. It was, and I immediately responded because there was no doubt in my mind. It was healthy brain, healthy mind. Because if you don't have control over your brain and your mind, you can't really get a grip on any of the other parts of the pie. So I'm here to say, being reminded in the mountains last night and today, let's like dig in and let's take active control of our brains and our minds. When I moved to France 2 years ago, By then I had done 3 brain scans because I had done the scan that had showed that I had actually healed my brain, which is why I can legitimately tell you guys how I did that and teach you how I did that through the right supplements, the water, and everything that we talk about. But after moving here, 8 months into the move, going through so much tumultuous relationship and stress of coming to, replant my roots in a new culture, and it was just really, really challenging for me. I started to realize I was getting PTSD in my brain again, and I wanted to get a scan to confirm it because I was aware of what brain health was. And so I got another scan. Actually, I got 2 scans. Those scans showed that I was indeed getting PTSD back in the brain. And it was like a wake-up call to actively do what I already knew worked. It's so nice. I just looked down. I want to show you what I saw when I looked down. That's a little bit of magic for you right there, guys. Confirming that what we're talking about is true. And universe, God thanks us for it, for you, for being here and listening and wanting to better your life so that you can better the lives of the people around you. And to thank God for giving me the courage to stand up and tell my story, because it takes courage to speak up about your story. We live in such a judgmental world, and I think that when we can start to be honest with ourselves, we can start to allow others to be honest too about their journeys, and that way we can boost our self-esteems and feel more of a community and a family in the world, stay interconnected. So anyway, what I wanted to say is you can heal your brain and you can start, okay? So let's start drinking more water. Let's start taking supplements for the brain like L-theanine, GABA. Lithium is one that I discovered in this last spec imaging brain scan. The doctor recommended lithium, and here in France they sell liquid ampules of lithium that I take every morning. I've heard that some people don't do well on lithium. I've heard that other people do great. I've heard that they've discovered now it's preventative for dementia. So those of you out there who have genetics of dementia like I do in the family, let's try to take some lithium into our diets and eat whole foods that our great grandmothers would recognize as food. Start walking, start, doing light yoga, some Pilates, swimming, whatever you can do, some quiet, let's just start calming things down. When you choose to watch a movie, how about something of comedy or nature? We don't always have to watch these like hyper dramatic sci-fi mega impact films. We can recognize that everything we're putting into our brains is in fact becoming a part of us, because we do change our DNA on a cellular level. We change everything about us with everything we do each day, everything we put in. So I love you guys. I want to thank you for being here for this quick video, and that I'm thinking about you from the morning that I wake up until the night that I go to sleep since I started this channel, even though there's been an interruption. All of you are in my heart, and I'm so thankful for you. And so please comment about what you'd like to talk about, what you'd like to know more of, and I'm here for you. And that's it. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Peace out. God bless. These guys are the best medicine for the brain. The best. Go out and pet a dog or a cat. Oh, or feed the birds. Bye.